Ernst-Günther Schenck was born on October 3, 1904, in Marburg, in the German Empire. His father was a professor at Münster University, teaching classical literature and humanities. He trained as a doctor and joined the SS, and during the war, Schenck was involved in the creation of a large herbal plantation in the Dachau concentration camp, which contained over 200,000 medicinal plants, from which vitamin supplements for the Waffen-SS were manufactured. In 1940, he was appointed as Inspector of Nutrition for the SS. In 1943, he developed a protein sausage, which was meant for the SS frontline troops. Prior to its adoption, it was tested on 370 prisoners in Mauthausen-Gusen concentration camp. In his own memoirs, Schenck stated his only concern was to improve nutrition and fight hunger. Because of this, after the war in West Germany, he wasn't allowed to continue his medical career. According to Waffen-SS Oberscharführer Hans Bottger, Schenck left his government duty post to go to the Eastern Front for his so-called Iron Cross apprenticeship, during the Germans' first campaign. He proved himself while serving as the battalion physician. Instead of just manipulating his way into getting the award like many others, Schenck took command of a gun battery after the commander had been killed. He performed well in combat and earned the Iron Cross, second class. In April 1945, during the Battle of Berlin, he was ordered to evacuate the city with the SS personnel, but volunteered to stay with the other medical personnel. He volunteered to work in an emergency casualty station located in the large cellar of the Reich Chancellery, near the Führer bunker. Although he wasn't trained as a surgeon, and lacked the experience, he assisted in major surgical operations. During these surgeries, Schenck was aided by Dr. Werner Haas, who was one of Hitler's personal physicians. Although Haas had more surgical experience than Schenck, he was weakened by tuberculosis, and sometimes had to lie down while giving advice to Schenck while Heck was performing the surgery. By April 28, the emergency casualty station was in desperate need of medical supplies. During the battle, Schenck went out in a Wehrmacht truck into Berlin to find medical supplies to bring back to the casualty station. In the 7 days they worked together, Schenck and Haas performed over 300 operations. During his time in Berlin, Schenck briefly saw Hitler in person twice, once when Hitler wanted to thank him and other medical staff for their emergency medical services, and the other time was during the reception after Hitler's marriage to Eva Braun. During the early morning of Tuesday, May 1, 1945, Haas took Schenck aside while at the emergency casualty station to tell him that Hitler was dead. Schenck was taken prisoner by the Soviet army during the attempted breakout of Berlin the same day. Following their surrender, Schenck, Wilhelm Munck and other senior German officers from the group were treated to a banquet by the Chief of Staff of the 8th Guards Army, with the permission of Lieutenant General Vasily Chuikov. At 10:30 that night, the Germans were ushered into another room where they were confined under guard. On the night of May 3, Schenck and the rest of the Germans were handed over to the NKVD. He was released by the Soviets in 1953 and went home to West Germany. There he worked at Chemie Grunenthal, now Grunenthal GmbH. Prior to writing his memoirs, he was interviewed extensively by author James P. O'Donnell, for the book, The Bunker, which recounted parts of Schenck's memories of Hitler's last days. The possibility that Hitler suffered from Parkinson's disease was first investigated by Schenck. He published his opinions and findings in a book titled, Patient Hitler, in 1989. Ernst-Günther Schenck died in Aachen, in Germany, on December 21, 1998, at the age of 94.